To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Chris, and you're listening to a podcast that believes in dreams, that places trust in the magic of imagination, that is always the first star to the right, and where the light in the window is always on. Join as we discuss the views from Walt's apartment.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Walt's Apartment Podcast. So I'm Sam. Hi. We're going to have a fun live show tonight with a room full of hosts that we're excited to talk to about all of the adventures that we've had this week and all of the things coming to theaters in the next year and week. So, it looks like Kevin's getting ready to join us too. So we'll let him get his camera going. But before we do that, Courtney, how are you? How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm just getting back from watching an epic live stream today. So, but yeah, doing good and excited to talk about all things theme parks.
I like that play on words there. Mm-hmm. Kelly, how are you?
I'm doing good. Recovering from our fun weekend. I know you had a fun weekend as well, and happy to talk about it.
And we've got Joey, all things Disney Universe and most Walt's Apartment. So what's up, Joey?
Good. Glad to be here. Still recovering from celebrating Happy. So ready to celebrate some more Happy real soon. And glad to hear what you guys did up in Medford.
Absolutely. And Kevin and Amanda, imagine that. We're in the park, our live show. How's it going, you guys?
Doing well. Hanging in there. Happy to be home. We got home late last night, so getting caught up on all the things. And what a time to be back. We have so much to talk about tonight, and it's going to be awesome. It's going to be epic, shall I say.
Oh, I love how they keep throwing that word epic around. I can't wait to get to that at the end of our show today. And last but not least, we have our friend JC from the board at Rogue Comic-Con joining us. He's a huge fan of all things Disney as well. So we're excited to have him as a special guest on the show and to have him recap kind of the weekend that we had on the West Coast as well. So let's go. You guys ready?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's start with our Rogue Comic-Con rundown.
Real quick. Sorry,
sure.
I'm just addressing entertainer. We will be talking about upcoming shows coming in the Disney Hollywood Studios on Extra Magic Hour when we record. So
we are recording tomorrow.
Yeah,
Extra Magic Hour. So look for that later this week, and we will be covering it there. Let's hit some comments really quick. We've got Albie saying, "Let's roll." Big Man Arizona, Daniel Adams. He said, "Here we go." Entertainer, hello. Howdy. Hope y'all have a great show coming this evening. Thank you, Albie. All right. So, Rogue Comic-Con, great weekend. So much fun. Some mishaps. We'll get to them. Not on anybody's fault, just the weather in Oregon doesn't like to cooperate for some reason. Kim says hi. Sean says, JC.
Hey, Sean. It is Oregon. So
So I've only had 2 experiences in Oregon, and so far they've been interesting.
One was freezing cold.
Freezing. Well, yeah, the cold doesn't bother me anyway. But I mean, the rain though is brutal because when it comes down. Last 2 weekends, last 2 years, rain and wind.
Yeah.
It's just a weird coincidence that Sam comes from the East, and those are the weekends that we have wind and rain. I'm not saying there's any kind of East Coast weather coming over with her, but
I mean, she definitely brings it with her, I think. Yeah.
she really does.
Yeah, when I used to live in Portland, we used to always say, "Oh, summer fell on a Sunday this year," so everybody can. But no, Oregon, Medford, the whole down there is beautiful. Just amazing.
So,
unpredictable weather.
Which we had some down here too, so it was all around.
I mean, my flight home was disgusting. They had delays like crazy all across the U.S. So So the event last year was one day, just Saturday, right? It was Saturday.
Yep.
And
just
then
Yes, it was one day.
this year was Saturday and Sunday. So we got double the fun, which means double the interviews we got to do on the main stage. It is double the Iato sword demonstrations.
Nice.
Ooh.
I know Sean's a big fan of the sword demonstrations.
We got a viewer from Japan. What's up?
Hello,
Hey,
viewer.
Japan.
So
Welcome.
look at there's JC with
Oh,
There
hey.
some
you
of the web crew. So David and I got to interview some of our actually absolutely love Scott Collins and Jeff Johnson. So they not only so Jeff also has worked for Warner Brothers and not just done in the comic industry. He teased me, you guys will love this, about Spider-Man.
All come to this happy place.
That's the key.
Well, he teased me about Spider-Man.
Oh, okay.
You guys would. I figured you guys would love that. He teased me about Spider-Man.
Well, yeah, because you don't like him.
I know. I tolerate him, but he's not my preference. And then Scott, for anybody who follows comic books, the Flash comics weren't doing so well for a while. And Scott came in with a new style for Flash and basically revived the comics so the Flash comics didn't fail. Huge deal to be able to talk to him. Geeked out a little bit with David.
Was that post the new 52 or?
It was, yes.
Okay.
Yes. So, and he's got some new stuff coming out too. That is incredible. We're hopefully going to be able to get them on the show. They had expressed interest in it. So we'll be able to do that. Amber, let me see if I can find those pictures here. Got to interview Amber and Kevin. Kevin joined for that interview.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, got to interview Timothy Zahn. Kevin, you want to talk about that interview a little bit?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it was amazing to get to be on the stage with this kind of Star Wars royalty, if you will. For anyone who doesn't know who Timothy Zahn is, I don't know if anyone here isn't sure. He wrote the earliest non-canon, I guess now, Star Wars books. So they weren't based off of the movies; they were brand new stories for Star Wars. And started with the Heir of the Empire book, which it was what introduced Thrawn to the world.
Yeah.
So anyone who likes Thrawn in the new Disney Plus shows, it's because of his creation that he added in these original books. So it was great to get to talk to him, ask him how to put he was given from George Lucas, which apparently was very little, which surprised me. But he said that he would have ideas that they would have to run up to the pole there, essentially, of who just to verify that what he's saying is good enough for a Star Wars book, and it would come back down to him. But he was really told, "Hey, George Lucas says X or Y about you." So yeah, it was interesting getting to know stuff that is now considered legends, that it's no longer canon from the storyline. He had a character, a creature he created in the original books that had dampened force abilities, and that's something that is not allowed in the current Star Wars. And so he's able to elaborate on that and how things have kind of evolved. And it was fun.
Another thing that I found really interesting about his interview was he said that he is legally not allowed to listen to any kind of fan theories or anything. Because he might end up taking those things in and not realizing that he's internalizing them and then creating them into content. So,
yeah. And I just want to piggyback on real quick. When he did Heir to the Empire, this was the first non-George Lucas anything that they allowed to be considered Lucasfilm. So he was the beginning of the expanded universe, the EU, and started a whole generation of people getting into Star Wars by the books. So like Kevin said, he is Lucasfilm royalty, and a lot of the stuff from the EU is not canon, but there's this little line that Dave Filoni put in Rebels that there's truth and legends. So they've been able to pick certain stories and characters from the Legends books. One of the biggest ones is Thrawn. He showed up in Rebels and Ahsoka. So that I'm so happy for Amber that she was able, and Kevin, to talk to him. He's such a great dude.
He is the sweetest man.
Yeah.
JC, what were your interactions with him like?
Oh, he was just so nice and gracious. It was actually kind of cool towards the end, you know, when you're kind of running around at a convention all the time, you don't really get a chance to do the con. So what was really great was that at the end of the con, he's packing up. He only had like 3 books left. So he didn't end up having to take any books home, and he was, you know, super great. He was just so polite, and he was actually just really humble. You know what I mean? You get all these people who, you know, he had such a line of all these people. I mean, I remember Heir to the Empire. That was one of the first books that started getting me into more advanced reading when I was younger, right? Going from Animorphs to a Star Wars novel is a pretty big leap, but yeah, he was such a nice guy at the end, and he was so patient and just willing to talk to everyone about everything going on. And it's really nice at these smaller cons getting that experience. Some of the bigger cons, you know, you're just rushed through, and you know, you don't get a chance to talk with them. But you know, both the guests were really patient, and they just listened to everyone, which I thought was really great. So it's cool getting to be able to stand in front of someone who's had such an impact on, not just, you know, Star Wars. Like I think Thrawn's basically the only thing from the Legends continuity that's actually been pulled into the new stuff, right? So that's just how impactful it is. So it was great. He was so great and so kind, and I loved his little very important porg. You know, I thought that was just icing on the cake.
Yeah.
Hang on, I'm trying to make space so I can pull up another picture that JC just sent me because y'all need to see it. But he was staying at the same hotel as us, and we were having breakfast, and we're just talking to him and his wife, and it was the coolest thing ever. So
that is
nice. Awesome. You had a Thrawn.
I thought he was wearing an Imperial officer hat too. That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's got an honorary 501st. It even has his name printed on it, you know, honorary 501st.
Yeah.
So he was, like I said, he was so great and so kind, and he was such a treat to have. You know, he's local in terms of Oregon. He's a writer, and it's just really great getting to have some of that local talent and having someone around. And you know, you don't really get a big name like him down in Medford of all places. So
right. You get names like mine. I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
She does have an IMDb page, so
they know. I think a couple of them do. I know a couple of them do. Yeah, it's just a joke between us now.
Just to piggyback on what JC was saying, like the beauty of having cons like this is that you can interact with the guests in a more intimate setting, and you have more time with them. There was a time where I went over to his booth, and we have the first 3 books in the series. It signed all 3 of them. Very gracious to not charge for his signings of books. So if you brought your own books, he was happy to sign and dedicate them. And I got to ask him about his experience in listening to their narration of the audiobook by Mark Thompson, because we were listening to it on the drive up, and Mark does such a wonderful job in creating all the different characters and all that. So I was asking him, has he listened to it, 1, and 2, what was his experience with that? And he said how incredible Mark was in seeing this bearded man portray all of these different characters and having Leia's voice and all of these different, oh, that's interesting. I didn't really put that together, but it was really cool to hear his experience with that, and it kind of made it more well-rounded for me in listening to the story. So I thought that was really cool. Those kinds of stories you don't really get to hear in a bigger con where they're just quick signing and move.
Right.
So I thought that was really cool to have that one-on-one experience with him.
It's very different at coming from an audio production standpoint. When you have your story, you get your story out there, and then somebody turns that into a script and brings it to life. It's so weird, but it's the coolest thing ever.
Good. I re-listened to it last year, the whole trilogy, and yeah, he did a great job just narrating all the voices and spot on a lot of them.
Now, did Timothy Zahn say that Dave Filoni asked his advice on anything about like bringing Thrawn to, Ahsoka live action or anything, or was that not discussed? Or I don't know if he has anything to do with it or anything.
Kevin can speak more to that. I know that he's rebooting. I believe that it was mentioned, but that he wasn't really involved with that process.
Okay.
Yeah, and so for anybody who wasn't there for our setup this year, it is very hard to hear anything unless you're like facing the direction of the main stage. So like if you're in the side or the back, it is a lot harder to hear those like more intimate interviews. You can hear the music and dance along and stuff, but it is definitely harder to hear those interviews. Well, speaking of other, go ahead, Jerry.
I just had a quick question for Amanda, knowing with where in the park goes to so many conventions, mostly Disney related, but what did you guys think of just the outdoor convention? A little bit different than what you're used to, but I mean, I just want to know what you guys thought of just.
Well, we've done outdoor venues before, but this one was one of the largest that we've been to, and in terms of outdoor cons, and it was very different in the sense that you felt the whole community was getting involved. A lot of times with different events, local people are coming together, but it doesn't really have that hometown feel. And this really does. It's 2 city blocks and then some. So the streets are closed off, and you have people from all around the community, not only sponsoring the events, but they have their booths. They have so many free events for the kiddos and for the adults too. But everybody's coming together. And you just feel that hometown vibe that you don't get anywhere else. So hats off to JC and the whole Row Comic Con team for putting this together, because I know a lot of people had to be involved with that. And hats off to you guys. Well done.
Awesome.
Thank you. I honestly have to, defer, Lanessa Pierce, the executive director, she put so much time and effort and just heart into this. This is a very special event for her. And, we all have our part and help, but she really has the vision that we follow, and it's just great being able to have this. It's a free event for people to attend. You can you get to wander around and see a lot of things you don't get to see. And, it is just so great getting to meet people. I mean, we're closing up and there's like a line of people who just wanted to say thank you to some of the different people who organize, because they're just so excited to have this. It's a lot different. Like you said, it's an outdoor thing. It's a lot different, but you really can feel everyone there. There's a lot of people just coming and going, and there's people who just stumble on it who might not have gone to a Comic-Con before, which is great. But yeah, thank you. I wish I could take as much credit, but Lanessa really pours so much into this. And, like I said, she has a vision, and we're all passionate about our community, and she really spearheads that. So, she's great. I can't say enough good things about her.
What I remember about last year, which was awesome, is that it was pouring rain and in like the 40s, but the community still came out and still supported. And I'm sure that happened again this year.
I think we had over 7,000 people is what we're projecting, right, JC?
That's great.
Yeah.
Give or take. I mean, next year, the goal is over 9,000. That's just me wanting a Dragon Ball reference, but it is great having that many people turn out for an event like this. It just really shows how passionate and supportive our community is, which is absolutely great.
Yeah.
Bonjour, John.
Yes. Bonjour.
So those weren't the only other interviews that we had. Hello, Jan. Albie says a little bit bigger national events allow a lot of the local and have their small business shops represented. Okay. So we also, I know most of you have seen the video, got to do an interview with Janisha Adams-Ginyard, who is Emmy-nominated actress, stunt performer. I learned this weekend that she was on the U.S. national bobsledding team.
That's awesome.
She was a professional women's wrestler.
Wow.
And I mean, if you think back to Falcon and the Winter Soldier, she's the one who threw the spear at Sam Wilson's, and the one who takes Bucky's arm off. Like,
she's pretty awesome.
And she does Okoye's stunts. So not only
so
does
she's
she
a
perform
stuntable?
herself, not only does she perform as her own self as a Dora Milaje, she also does Okoye stunts.
Wow.
That's
pretty
crazy
cool.
awesome.
A woman of many talents.
Oh, she's a playwright. She literally does everything. I am obsessed with her. She's my new favorite person on the planet. There's her and David in his M'Baku costume.
Epic.
Nice.
That's
That's
epic.
so awesome.
Love
She
it, love
just
it.
to piggyback on that, she is such like a personality and energy. You know, she when you talk about infectious energy, you know, she is always upbeat and positive, and I didn't have to pay her to laugh at most of my jokes, which was a first for me. But she's so sweet. And the same thing at the end of the con, you know, or just during the con, you know, there's people wanting to talk to her and she's just sharing advice and stories. I picked up her book. She's in the middle of writing her second book. And she's just, again, she's just such an energy and she's so fun to be around. And she has so many like fun stories and it's just big energy. And that's really what's great about being at a convention. Is this
This
our
is the Winnie
special?
the Pooh moment, right?
Is this our
Yeah, this is
special
good.
guest star?
This is the moment when she is on stage with us. You can see her sitting there in her beautiful gold, and we'll share for anyone who hasn't seen yet. Find shelter. That was the tent that our recording equipment was in and sound equipment.
Oh, geez.
Yikes.
Just decided to kick up here.
Did my recorder survive?
And then you've got Sam who's like, everyone go to Artist Alley. Go to Artist Alley.
Find shelter.
Nobody had been going into Artist Alley.
So
No,
we need,
Go inside.
Nobody had
need
been
a
going into
bigger
Artist
budget.
Alley. So I was trying to send them there.
we need a bigger budget here at Walt's apartment because you need a better cameraman, not somebody's ring camera.
Okay.
So that was actually Sean's iPad.
Oh my
That was
gosh.
Sean's iPad. And that is something we're going to talk about. That is something we're going to talk about for next year. Is like
Okay, we'll go next. We'll
how to
go
make
next
that
year
happen
for
better for
sure.
us. Well,
As long as it doesn't
yes,
coincide
Joey,
with
it's
like
good.
Disneyland's big,
71st
So,
anniversary.
right.
we weren't even, Sean wasn't even going to stream it on StreamYard. And I was like, you can do it on your iPad browser. Just do it. And I'm glad we did because now we have that footage and we have me grabbing the iPad, throwing it in a bin, saying, sorry, you guys are going in a bin and putting it in a bin for 5 minutes before you then. I get the bin out and I'm like,
Thank you, Sean.
I'm like talking to everyone. And Kevin pops his head in and goes, and then Amanda and Sean and the show with "We hope you enjoyed the view from Walt's apartment."
It's a great view of the gusts.
Yeah.
I chimed in with a like and subscribe. You
And
know.
there you go, Amanda. Always on it. Always on it.
The weather app said it was 12. That was a 12-mile-per-hour wind gust.
No.
Oh,
That
There's
was
no
more
way.
than 12 miles per hour, I think.
I'm going like 45 at least.
It looked pretty fast.
At least.
At
Coming
least
to
one
you.
tent blew away. I mean, it was
Yeah.
what I want to say though when we talk about community is when the wind picked up, it was so awesome to see everyone jump into like the vendor booths and stuff. Like just random people were grabbing onto tents, were helping
Aw.
people hold things on tables, you know, even in the wind. And there was a big gust of rain, you know. I mean, it rained at 10 o'clock for like probably about 45 seconds and we're in the clear. And then what really caused this is when the wind started. I did the Obi-Wan Kenobi bit from episode 2, you know, in the rain. I made contact with the Prime Minister of Camino. They've hired about. I was like, this is the weather I need for it. And then the wind picked up. But when you talk about community, again, we're
Free
just
art.
talking about. We're just talking about like it's con goers who wanted to just step in and help people to make sure things weren't blowing away, to make sure booths were down. And again, that's something you don't see in just something big. Something goes wrong, everyone's kind of just standing there. But people gave up their own running to the Artist Alley shelter. I'm assuming Sam has probably found herself in a shelter once or twice. I don't know if she's in tornado country or not, but it's really cool to see again people step up and help out. And again, when you talk about Janisha, her attitude afterwards was so great about it. She was just like letting it roll off her, and it's a weird experience. You come to
She's
Oregon,
like, I
it's
want
like,
that video. Text
Yeah.
me the video.
yeah, it's like when you come to Oregon, it's like to pack appropriately, you have to walk through an automatic car wash, right? You go in, you see some sun a little ahead of you, a little light mist, a little light rain, torrential downpour, wind. You're still seeing sun the whole time. That is Oregon's weather in a nutshell. So again, she handled it like a champ too. So again, the special gust star, if you want to call it that, we survived the wind incident, but again, it just makes for I think a unique experience you're not going to get at C3 E3 or anything like that.
Oh yeah, Oregon's the reason why I yearly wear sweatshirts and hoodies. So
That's so funny.
And coming next year, kite fights. Yeah, apparently.
Let's see, I think I have one more video and then a couple more pictures, and then we'll move on. Here was.
What's up, Sasquatch?
Dance party.
Oh, here we go.
Always gotta do a
Is it
dance
coming?
party.
Dance party. Did it play? Okay, there it goes. My Indiana Wi-Fi is not the best right now, y'all. Just saying.
And bringing back mine.
Yeah, but look at didn't know Oregon had. Apparently, my camera is just dead. Kevin, did you unplug it and plug it back in? I have to do that sometimes.
Yeah.
David didn't know. Listen.
Oregon's no joke with the weather, man.
We knew from last year that the weather's crazy. Okay.
Yeah.
We knew
The
that.
thing I love about Oregon weather, though, you get all 4 seasons, and they're all beautiful.
But you know what, JC? I resent the fact that you said
an hour.
That's Midwest here. That's Midwest. I do not go find shelter when it's raining. I keep fishing.
I said tornado. I did not say rain. I feel like
I chase those.
I mean,
Sam's a little crazy.
TLC. I don't go chasing waterfalls, but tornadoes is a you thing. So
I chase both. All right. I had to share these because our fandom here knows.
Deadpool.
There's Sean.
Yeah.
Sean with 3 Deadpools. So
all the Deadpools.
2 Deadpools and a nice pool.
Yeah, I was going to say, is that supposed to be a nice pool?
That's a nice pool. And he borrowed the other Deadpool's gun. And then Sean and Wanda.
Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, Wanda.
She came the
That's a good
next
Scarlet
day.
Witch.
She came the next day and had
the dark old fingers.
Dark old fingertips.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And for anybody wondering, our vandalism still exists at Mr. Point.
That's a nice commercial for the stickers because they haven't faded at all with all that weather up there in Shasta.
A year later, the Vista Point Overlook, Mount Shasta, our stickers remain. Sorry, JC, what were you saying about Wanda?
That was the best subtle cosplay though. Saturday I was like, I like your Wanda cosplay. And I didn't say it. And I was like, if you only had the dark old fingers and makeup, and the next day she had it. And I was like, I like this. She really let it play a whole day later to like complete the cosplay. And that is commitment.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
I like that.
For sure. Anybody else have anything else they want to say about Rogue Comic Con before we hear from
just to add to that, there were so many people who had some amazing cosplay both days, right? We had the kids costume contest and then we had the adults contest, and both days it was fantastic. And to see not only like, even if you don't know the fandom, there were so many people who were like, oh my gosh, can I get a picture with you? And you look amazing. And just that support for the time and the effort that it took to put that costume and outfit together. There was that collaboration of how did you make that? Tell me your tips and tricks of just the creative aspect of it. That was amazing to see. And especially during the contest when Sam and Sean were reading off, the characters and how the costumes came together, like just overhearing that, like, wow, so many hours and trial and error and everything were put into making these outfits, and they looked amazing. So I loved the community aspect of it and everybody just rallying together. And I cannot wait to see next year and like what everyone dresses up as next time, and it's gonna be awesome. So
creative,
kudos
yeah.
to everyone
Yeah.
who showed up and showed out.
I did learn too that I need to learn more about Hazbin Hotel because I know nothing.
There was like
Oh,
three
yeah,
that
that's
is.
been.
TVs on their heads, and I'm like,
Yeah.
is this a sequel to the toilet thing?
That's
Like, I
Vox,
officially have no
apparently.
riz. Yeah, Vox from
Hazbin
Hazbin
Hotel.
Yep. I will say the family dressed like from Aliens. They had the Ripley and like they did great. I mean, and they made all that out of cardboard too. The chest burster, the guns, they were great. And the girl who did Jinx from Arcane, like her gun, the big old whale gun was amazing. The shark gun. I know someone's gonna correct me on this, but yeah, no, it's great, and I appreciate you guys coming out and doing some MC and hosting duties. Again, I mean, this is also something we as a community need the support we can, and having you guys able to help with that and run the main stage is also incredibly helpful. Because there's so many little parts about doing this, and again, it's great having people who are so well vested in what you guys do. So also appreciated that you guys made the trip to Oregon, rain or shine. So both actually, but
And we played all the trivia.
I love doing the MCing with Sam and Sean last year, and I was bummed I wasn't able to do it again this year, but we had
if I heard right, Sam not only did the trivia, someone said, I think we've done this before. So we did all the trivia and then some. Like we were back at the beginning. She's like, yeah, I think we have done this. So you guys killed it. We did all the trivia and then some.
Yeah.
There you go.
We ran out.
So and I know you can't really share stuff about next year, but are we looking at another 2-day?
May 16th and 17th.
She beat me to it. Yep. That's the plan. We are again, we're all people who are so excited to put this on and want to get it locked in, because people need to start their costumes like probably 3 weeks ago for the 2026 convention.
Right, yeah.
So it's so great to have people out and get to kind of grow this every year. And like I said, next year I'd love to break 10,000 attendees. It's still over 9,000, but we'd love to break over 10,000 attendees again, keeping able to provide this for our community.
We haven't been invited back yet, just saying. But May 16th and 17th is when it will be taking place. Lynessa had us announce at the end of the event. Well, we have to wait to be invited back. So
to be fair, I haven't even been invited back, and I'm on the board. So they, this is, I don't even know what our next meeting is. But again, you guys at least know when the next con is. So we're super excited, and just can't wait to have everyone back next year.
Awesome.
So when we come back from hearing from Where in the Park, who got to join us at Rogue Comic Con this year, which was lovely having you guys there, we're going to talk about Zootopia and Stitch, or Lilo and Stitch. So hang tight.
Hey fam, what scavenger hunt are you doing?
Well, we are doing Where in the Park.
Do you guys know Where in the Park? Because we do.
We do.
So how you play this is that they give you a deck of cards with an image on it, and you get to look around and see where in the park that is.
And they're fun. So if you like to find stuff, this is what you need to do.
Amazing game. We're in the park right here.
If you're a seasoned Disney park goers, as we are, it's a fun, challenging even for the hardcore Disney parks fan.
We have played the Where in the Park games that we felt like, ooh, we got
still
this
a challenge.
Oh no, yeah, still a challenge, a fun challenge though, not an impossible challenge.
Yeah, they get really close to details, and you're like, I have never even seen that. I don't even know.
Where in the park have I seen that?
The great thing about these is that they're not in attractions and they're out in the open places. It's meant for families to play.
Besides people who've been there a lot, it's fun for people that are new to the parks as well, because you catch some of those details that you would probably miss when you're first going.
So there's images that you are finding on one side of the card, and then the other has the hint in the answer that you can reveal if you choose to.
Before it was just the hint and the answer, but now if you really want the land,
It'll tell you
they'll
where.
give you the land for an extra hint. You guys can take as long as you wish without the hint.
Yeah.
Without the hint, it's hard.
But that's what makes it fun.
But they do not just do Disney parks, obviously. What other parks do you guys actually cover?
Universal and all that good stuff.
East
SeaWorld.
Coast, West Coast, and they're
Yes.
continuing to expand even more after that.
Check them out, weareinthepark.com, if you need to get some game packs. They are so much fun.
We appreciate We're in the Park.
You know, they're awesome.
We love
Kevin and
that.
Amanda.
Get you some We're in the Park today.
Hell yeah.
Use promo code Walt's APT Podcast to save 10% at weareinthepark.com.
Definitely get you some Where in the Park. Anything you guys want to say, Kevin and Amanda, about anything you guys have been up to?
Well, we were just at the Enchanted Forest after Rogue Comic Con to take updated pictures for our game packs there, as well as taking new pictures for new game packs coming out very soon. And of course, with the Epic Universe opening up tomorrow, we're going to be having a special Universal sale kicking off tomorrow that goes through the end of this weekend. So stay tuned for that.
Very exciting. So get yourself some Universal packs, because you're going to have some time to spend in Universal when you're not in Epic Universe. So, because we know everybody's going to be rushing there to see the magic that they've created. So, all right, Zootopia. You guys ready?
Yep.
Let me let my Indiana Wi-Fi share my screen.
Tornado Wi-Fi.
Pretty much.
While Sam's getting that set up, my mom in the chat is right. We will be at the Disneyana Fan Club Expo on June 1st in Irvine, California. So if you are in the Orange County area, come on down.
I want to go.
I want to go too.
Courtney and Kelly's dad's excited.
Oh, how cute.
So,
That's interesting.
Like I said, I was like, I still have no idea what it's about. It looks cool, and I'm
Exactly.
glad all the characters are back, but I have no
Yeah.
idea what this is about.
This is one of those TikTok teaser trailers that are going to be on your TikTok feed constantly. This is kind of like what we have with Fantastic Four, where I just think it's for social media content, and it's just to get the characters out there and get you laughing a little bit and get you back into that world before they drop the real trailer. Yeah, but it's cute and funny, and I had a giggle and a laugh, so
yeah, it's
I'm
cute.
excited for it.
It is.
Yeah.
It kind of gets you pumped. It got us dancing a little bit. I saw Jason
Yeah.
was down there going. It made me. It had like that rave vibe. I'm like, we could have fun to this. And we did get to see a lot of our favorite characters from Zootopia reprised, at least in this promo. So, what are everybody's thoughts on Zootopia? Are we excited for Zootopia 2? Were we fans of Zootopia 1? Courtney?
I mean, I wasn't the biggest fan of Zootopia 1, but like I liked it. I liked the characters of Nick and Judy Hopps. And it was a very fun movie, the first one. When they said they were doing a second one, I was like, oh, do we really need a sequel? But when I saw the trailer, or what we saw at or I got a little
We
bit
saw
more
a scene at
Yeah.
D23.
at D23, I was like, okay, I'm on board. And a lot of their animation pavilion stuff was geared towards Zootopia 2. So I'm on board, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. But from this trailer, I still have no idea what it's about.
Yeah.
I just remember in the D23, when we got the scene and we watched the scene, I felt like it was kind of like the sloth scene when we first got the DMV sloth scene. So I know good things are coming.
Yeah.
But we're gonna have to wait till November to see it. And I think Zootopia is cute, and I think the characters are fun. So I'm excited to see it.
Amanda?
Yeah, I mean, I liked the first one. I'm excited to see how this second movie transforms itself into the parks, with Zootopia already being in Shanghai Disney and then coming to Disney Animal Kingdom, replacing the It's Tough to Be a Bug show. Are there different elements within the second Zootopia show that will incorporate itself into the parks? So that's what I'm excited about. I also don't know what the second movie is going to be about, but that's okay. I know that it's going to be just as comical, with those fun Easter egg elements in there, that you're going to want to watch over and over and over again to pick out those different things, and the different play on other Disney properties that they had in the first one. So I'm excited to see where it goes, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
JC, are you excited for Zootopia?
I enjoyed the first Zootopia. I think even though before we started, I had said something like, you can't call this really a trailer, but I think sometimes the older I get, the more I like not being spoiled. And this is just enough for me to go, there's a Zootopia 2. We are going to go to some new places and have some new fun adventures. And so, for me, I mean, am I going to watch it? Yeah, probably. Am I going to go to theaters and watch it? Yeah. I mean, so do they need to throw a big trailer out for me to entice me? No, it'll just be nice to have that in the back of my head, over the summer and not have to basically get spoiled with the whole trailer. So, yeah, I mean, I'm super jazzed for it.
Joey.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the first Zootopia. It kind of took me back, being one of the older people in this group. It took me back to like being a kid and watching Robin Hood, the animal first, characters and stuff. So just modern, but the first one was great. We know, Judy and Nick as characters. So this is what a teaser is supposed to be. It's supposed to tease you. So it's supposed to be like, hey, this is coming. So here's some new stuff, and then here's some new characters, and get excited. So it did what it's supposed to do. And like JC said, after I like getting teasers and I like getting the first trailer. After that, everything just gives away too much of the story. I don't need to know what's going on in the teaser. So this was a perfectly paced, got me excited. We saw some old characters, like you said, some new ones. The snake we found out D23 is actually being voiced by, going to butcher the name, but Short Round from Indiana Jones, since he's had this awesome revival over the last couple of years.
Yes.
So I'm really excited.
Ki Hong Kwan or something
Yeah,
like that.
Ki Hong Kwan.
Yeah, what Kelly said.
This is going to be great. I think it's going to be fun. And
Exactly how I would just pronounce it as well.
Kevin, Zootopia. Are you a Zootopia?
All right, so I love the world of Zootopia, and I'm excited for the different environments being part of this new movie as well. They teased that perfectly. And I like they made it kind of clear that there's going to be a mystery to solve again, right? Like kind of had that vibe to it in certain like little elements of that. So I'm looking forward
the snake
to
is like
figure
a
out.
criminal, so yeah.
Or
there was
innocent,
also like there was
Nothing's
like a
clear.
hooded creature with like red eyes, and
There's definitely more to
mystery.
the story, obviously, and I'm looking forward to figuring out what it is.
Yeah.
Well, Judy and Nick have got to be like like a detective team again. Like that's what they do best. That's their dynamic.
Exactly.
So I'm hoping that they do that.
And I'm
And
excited.
Dawn Bellwether, I don't know why Dawn Bellwether is there. We'll find out.
I'm sure that it's probably going to be like, because she's in her orange jumpsuit in this teaser, I'm sure they're going to visit her at jail and, try to,
Question
get
her,
some
yeah.
information from her about this new mystery they have to solve.
Going to be like Hannibal Lecter, you got
Exactly, kind of. That's the way I envisioned it, because she's in the orange
Get into her
jumpsuit.
mind and figure out who's who. Yeah, maybe that.
But I know we're getting more Shakira, so I'm excited for that too.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Joey,
Why'd you
you
say?
said it reminds you of like your childhood and like Robin Hood and the whole Animal First thing. For me, I don't have that emotional appeal anymore to like things from my childhood as much as I do to things that Haley loved when she was younger. And I can just hear her little like 2-3-year-old voice going, I want to watch Judy Hopps. I want to watch Judy Hopps. So she saw
So it was Moana and Judy Hopps.
Moana and Judy Hopps and Toy Story. Moana, Judy Hopps, and Toy Story. Those were the three. Judy Hopps came after Toy Story and Moana did though. For her. But I can just hear her little voice saying it. And I showed her the teaser and she was like, Mom, that looks so fun. And she goes, but you're going to cry. Because I cry during everything. And she knows it. So she's like, it looks so fun, but you're still going to cry. So I guess I'll go to the movies and watch it with her and have the time of my life until I start crying and she starts making fun of me because she roasts me, but it's fine. So it sounds like we're all excited for Zootopia 2.
One quick thing though. So we are under the impression Dawn is in jail and they're going to investigate. So it's really going to be a literal Silence of the Lambs.
I didn't even think about that when I said
there
that.
You go. There you go.
Well,
I like it.
I didn't even think of that.
We are going to hear now from our sponsor Getaway Today, and we will come back and we're going to talk Stitch predictions and then Disneyland trip for 3 of the lovely faces on the screen, and then hear from another sponsor. So let's hear from Getaway Today.
It's been a great show so far, but who's ready for an ad break? Did you know that the best way to keep our shows going is by supporting our sponsors? So let's get to know more about the travel experts at Getaway Today. They've been helping to make vacation dreams come true since 1990. And whether you want to visit the happiest place on earth or to travel to Orlando for a most epic adventure, they are there to help. Are you trying to find out which hotel is your best option or which theme park tickets will work best for your visit? Are you concerned that you might need a last-minute change? No worries. Their travel experts will help you out. Looking to book a cruise but don't know where to start? Hey, they can help with that too. They will find the perfect cruise for your vacation, whether it's your first time or you're a well-seasoned cruiser. When you book your cruise with one of the Getaway Today experts, you will have a dedicated agent to help you every step of the way. They take care of the details so you can have the most fun. Getaway Today offers peace of mind travel, allowing you to cancel or make changes up to 72 hours before your trip. You will always have the most up-to-date vacation information, both pre-arrival and upon welcome. Getaway Today guarantees the best prices, with no hidden fees, and every time you book through Getaway Today, they will donate a portion back to a charitable organization in your area. And so far, over $4.5 million have been donated. So go ahead and dial 1-855-GETAWAY, that's 1-855-438-2929, and be sure to tell them that Walt's Apartment sent you. Or just click the link in our show notes for more information and the best deals to start your Disney, Universal Studios, or cruise vacation planning. What I'm trying to say is, if you like to travel, check out Getaway Today. Alright, so now it's time to get back to enjoying that view from Walt's apartment. Let's get back to the show.
Is that Green Arrow?
I got my David action figure right here.
And Baku.
JC was Green Arrow for the DC day.
Oh,
Aside though, we have secret identities for a reason, okay?
Well, I just revealed it.
Yeah.
And I also made fun of you because your arrows don't come out of your quiver.
I have a con safe bow and arrow, and she's like, "Well, mine are real." So
She does bow and arrow. Yeah.
she was very quick to show me that. She's like, "Have you seen how good I am at this?" I will say though, at least David called me Green Arrow. The amount of people who just thought I was Hawkeye, still, they're like, bow and arrow, you must be Hawkeye. I mean,
DC.
So I would have thought you were Hawkeye, but it was DC Day, so I knew it was green. And what did I bring you, JC?
Hawkeye
What did I bring
doesn't
you?
wear green though.
I know he
Were you
does.
wearing green?
right?
She brought me a Green Arrow. She traveled all the way across one whole city block to bring me a Green Arrow sticker. It was very thoughtful.
Sam, why don't you cosplay as Merida? Just dye your hair orange, like bright orange, and like shoot.
You know, I think next year when we do Comic-Con, we should have themes like all captains, right? Like Captain Jack Sparrow, Captain America, Captain Planet. We could do one of all archers, right? We can have Katniss, Merida. We can be like,
I'll be Captain Crunch.
That's awesome, yeah.
Captain Crunch.
was
Joey's
thinking
already
Crunch.
committed.
Yeah.
This is great. Okay. All right. Stitch official. Oh, Lilo and Stitch live action officially opening May 23rd. That's the official. So it's Memorial Day weekend movie launch.
Yes.
What are our predictions for what it's going to do domestically? I'm going to start with Kevin. I'm going to start with Kevin.
No, wait. I have a clarifying question.
Yes.
Okay. Are we saying like Friday to Monday?
The holiday weekend, I think.
Thursday night.
Yeah.
Preview night.
Thursday
Yeah, I think it's Thursday through Monday.
Thursday through Monday.
Yes. Amanda,
I
will
feel like
you
I'm
type
being-
these out for us?
I feel like I'm being generous. I'll go with the.
Hold on. Entertainer, I heard that it was confirmed that Gantu is not in the live action. So
Yes, we have heard that Gantu is not going to be in live action. And
I'm
I
okay
have
with
faith. I have faith that they're going to do well without Gantu.
Yeah.
I don't
Same
think
with the
Gantu
ticket.
necessarily made or break the movie. So
I mean, I feel like he was more in the show than even in the first movie, so I don't think it matters.
all right, Kevin.
All
Domestic.
right, so I'll be
protection.
generous with an even $100 million.
What?
Is it domestic or worldwide?
Domestic.
Worldwide. Domestic,
Okay,
I don't know.
worldwide.
Domestic, probably let's go with 70, right? Or 60.
Kevin,
60 for
why
movie.
are
Let's go
you
with that.
being like this?
What?
Amanda,
That's
can you
fair.
I mean,
can you go touch Kevin's
Thunderbolt's only
forehead?
made about 70-something domestic.
Yeah, I'm not being unrealistic. It's
I think he's
compared to
being
Snow
a
White
little
or even
realistic.
Aladdin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
And Amanda's like, what is
Joey.
it?
Joey.
So domestically, well, first of all, I think it's going to go bigger internationally because we know Stitch is huge internationally.
In Japan, yeah.
Being that it also comes out the same weekend as Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, I'm going to say it gets 58 domestically.
Ooh.
And then internationally, it'll hit like in the I'll say 122. And
JC.
58.
Okay, I know I'm new here, and I'm gonna go by Price is Right rules, but I'm gonna completely overestimate this one. I'm gonna say 126 million, mostly because it's gonna do over 100, and where he's experiment 626, right? So we're gonna go with a 26 in there. But I mean, it looks like in terms of like when Disney does a live action movie, this is the reason they should make animation to live action, right? It looks great. It's one of those things where like I already know what the story's gonna be, but I want to go see that again because like the Stitch looks great, right? Of everything they've translated, and I know Stitch just everyone loves Stitch, right?
23 years later, everyone's
Yeah,
still
23 years later. I mean, Stitch merchandise is hard to find. I mean, I
not at Disneyland right now.
Not at Disneyland
Well,
right
not
now.
if you're at the factory, basically, right? They're just
Stitch is right here.
My
I'm
5-year-olds
saying
are
domestic.
geeked over anything Stitch.
domestically 126 million. Mission Impossible is a long movie. Lilo and Stitch is shorter. You're gonna be able to take families to it. Dead Reckoning has lore, or Final Reckoning. I haven't even watched Dead Reckoning, right? I don't have another 3 hours to lore build. 126 domestically, and I mean at least that, if not greater, internationally.
I'm going to piggyback off of what JC said, because you have mom and dad who are going to go see MI. You have mom and dad and 6 kids who are going to go see Lilo and Stitch. I'm
they don't have 6
going.
kids.
Then they're going to take mom, dad, and 3 kids or 2 kids or.
And I just want to say,
it's Memorial Day weekend.
Everybody has off work and school Monday.
Lilo and Stitch to me is the last live action movie I was this excited for was Jungle Book. And so I'm really looking forward to that. Memorial Day is such a tricky weekend, so that's why I was undershooting. But I'm hoping it's a big number.
Does more, yeah.
Amanda, Sean says 95 domestically. Write it down, Amanda, please.
Already done.
How many people are going this weekend? I've already planned on seeing Lilo and Stitch.
We're seeing it Friday.
1, 2, 3.
I would, but I got to go back down to LA.
Okay, how about Mission Impossible? Who's seeing that this weekend? Right? I mean, we already got more people seeing Lilo and Stitch. I'm not saying Price is Right rules, but I will take my car, Bob Barker, when I'm right.
Just remember, with Price is Right rules, if you go over, you lose. So that's why you want to pay $1, Bob.
I believe that 626 going to hit at least 126.
I'm hoping.
Amanda, it took them $100 million to make the movie.
If I wasn't going out of town this weekend, I'd be seeing both movies this weekend.
Amanda, what are your projections, lovely?
Okay, so I am going to say that because Stitch has such a massive following, both here but especially overseas, I have it written down already. It's locked in 160 domestically and 230 international.
Okay.
Amanda.
That's a good
week.
weekend.
Better than Lion King did.
Like it.
Yeah, because
it's better than Top Gun Maverick.
Not ideal. Everybody loves Stitch, and
it'd
that
be a new
girl,
record
I
for.
mean, we've talked about in the past of like how marketing, like for this movie has gone compared to the movie we don't talk about, and like that little girl is on everyone's feed. She is
adorable.
Amazing,
yeah,
and like. She's fantastic, and so just to see her alone, people are gonna go and see this movie. Just for the Stitch fandom, people are gonna see this movie. People are probably gonna see it multiple times, and it's gonna just rejuvenate the Stitch fandom. So I have high hopes for this one.
An American Idol winner, Iam Tongi singing Hawaiian Roller Coaster Ride is freaking amazing. This will be, in my opinion, the highest grossing live action movie. That
I think so too. Yeah.
Kelly.
Well, you're talking to the girl with about 5 stitches in her sight right now. I have one in my arms. I have one next to me. I have 3 on the other side of the room. So I think that Stitch is going to do very well. And I think that it's going to do, I want to say 110 domestically and like 180 international.
Courtney.
Yeah. I want to say, because as much as everybody loves Stitch, but it is Memorial Day weekend, which people either go to the movies or they don't. They go to the beach.
It's going to be cold this weekend in LA.
We don't go to the beach
Again?
until almost July.
I hope so, man.
They need to stop. I'm ready for hot weather.
It's like it's supposed to be like 75. They're not going to the beach at 75.
Okay. Then I'm gonna go 120 domestic. And I hope like 280 worldwide.
I am going to say 130 domestic and 190 internationally.
Being weekend?
Yeah.
That's huge. It's over $300,000.
My number, what?
Or 300 million, I mean? Is that what you're saying?
No.
I said 190
what was the math?
million. I said
190
130.
Okay, so
190.
I thought you said domestic was 190, right?
No, 130 domestic,
global.
190 global.
Okay, total.
Yeah. Switch.
Got it. I misunderstood.
Oh
I thought you were
goodness.
adding those two together. I'm like, that's crazy. All right.
Sir. All right. We definitely want to get to your guys' Disneyland trip, but we have to hear from Sunken City Designs. So we'll be right back.
Sunken City Designs brings you art. Do you like art? I know I do. How about art based on Disney characters, like Mickey Mouse and the Oyster Thief? You know, that's actually from Alice in Wonderland, the best princess movie ever made. Also, we have some dwarfs that have their heads ripped off sometimes. Why? I don't know. It's because it's Sunken City Design. So go there, sunkencitydesign.com. Get yourself some great merchandise. You got posters and, I believe, clothes. Who knows? I got a cup from there, and it's fantastic. Do you like cups? Do you ever use those? I do. Go for it. Oh yeah, sweatshirts. Can't forget about those. If you're ever cold, get yourself a sweatshirt from sunkencitydesign.com. Also, Wall-E. You know, that's the best movie ever made. Second only to Alice in Wonderland. All right. If you also like Walt's apartment, they have merch for that too. Where? sunkencitydesign.com. Hopefully you've already loaded up that site and you're looking at it and you have some items in your cart. Go ahead and check out as soon as you can because the show's about to come back on. All right, everybody. We appreciate you.
We definitely appreciate Lou and everything that he has to offer, not just for our show, but to all of the people who love and appreciate and support him with his art. We had so many people at Road Comic-Con who saw his prints on our table because we were raffling them off, who were just like, hey, I remember this guy. I remember this guy. He was here last year. I bought some of his stickers, or who were just, his art drew people into our table. And thankfully we were able to raffle a lot of that off. And we've gotten a couple things where we've seen pictures of people finally being connected with his art, and they've got big smiles on their face. So that makes us happy being able to see people enjoying Lou's art. Lou did say, hopefully it does good, but Disney doesn't think people want live action. Stitch is good. Live actions are not. 250 worldwide is Lou's projection. You got that, Amanda?
Disney does think they want them because they keep making them.
Say that before, so nobody wanted live actions, no way, but they did it. So
I think this is one that we may have thought we didn't want, but maybe in the long run it will be good.
I think we wanted it as soon as we want, but we didn't want live action Moana, so we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
So the reason that Courtney, Kelly, and Joey were not able to join us at Road Comic-Con this year.
Well, there was other factors too, but yes.
But they were celebrating at Disneyland. They were at Disneyland. So you guys take it away. Tell us all about your Disneyland trip.
So last weekend was the kickoff of Disneyland's 70th anniversary. It officially is July 17th, but they kick it off in May because that's when their summer season starts. So this is when they did all the merchandise came out, all of the fun activations that they did. The Paint the Night is back, the new World of Color show, the new fireworks show from the 100th is back. The Better Together Parade is back at DCA. So we spent 2 days at Disneyland just enjoying all of the new 70th anniversary stuff. Plus, we did take the guided tour that's called the 70th Disneyland 70th celebration of a story of celebration. So this is a 2-hour guided tour that you pay for, and they take you around all of the original lands of Disneyland and give you some information about Walt and how he started the park. And then they take you on the Mark Twain, the Disneyland Railroad. You get a lightning lane for Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. And then you get a reserved seating for Paint the Night parade at night
And popcorn.
with special popcorn. With special popcorn. And yes, then one of the main merchandise that everybody is gathering for is the key to Disneyland. The key to Disneyland. So we each have one because there is a pin in here. It only has one pin, but there's a pin in here. So
And we're showing the keys for our audio listeners, but you can't hear it because it won't transfer. But each lighting effect plays a different song from the land of the pin that you get. So
And you can check out the video of the key on our YouTube. So if you're listening to us on audio version and you're not following us on YouTube, go check out our Walt's Apartment Productions YouTube page. Come follow us on Discord. Come hang
and
out
there
with
will
us.
be a video on Elements of Fun very soon of the entire.
Yeah. And so the thing with the keys is also there's a locking station in each of the lands, and you have to physically go to each land to put the key in the lock, and it unlocks the color, the icon, and the sound. So you don't.
Oh, that is so cool.
Yeah.
That's
It's
why
very cool.
it's a big thing.
Because like when you first get the key, it only lights up white, and you get Walt's
opening day
speech, and then once you go around to each of the lands, you get the new icon, the different color, and the song. And then there's 2 buttons on the side of the D that control the colors and the sounds. So once you get the sound, you can play the sound if the color is lit up.
Yeah,
that's very cool. So what
it knows if you haven't gotten all of the icons before you hit the final locking station to unlock the pin. So you can't unlock the pin unless you get all the icons.
Did you guys unlock them?
Yes.
We did, and all 3 of us got 3 different pins, and
thank God.
yes, and I got the Winnie the Pooh honey pot pin for Bayou Country,
and I got the Jungle Cruise, and so each pin is a D with the icon on it.
And the icon matches these icons.
Oh yeah, Joey got the Millennium Falcon.
So we actually did a 3-way trade. So
I actually got the Millennium Falcon, but I think Joey appreciates it more, so we traded. And so yeah, we got some fun pins. We spent the day unlocking them, and it was really fun to do. And all of the unlocking stations do different things. They have different sounds. They have some blow bubbles, some do more than that. So it's fun.
Yeah.
And all the pins are like worth like. There's nothing that I wouldn't not want. They're all really cool.
There's not a bad one. And then from the tour, you get this storybook pin.
Oh, that's so pretty.
Yeah.
Great. What were some other highlights of the trip for you guys?
I think the other highlight for us was World of Color, Happiness. We got Fast Pass. Well, we got the virtual queue for the World of Color Happiness, and there is a pre-show with the Muppets, which I don't think we should spoil for some people because it's so cute. Yeah, and the music and the way they incorporate the emotions of Inside Out and all of the new songs. There's some new songs for World of Color. I enjoyed this. I will actively seek out World of Color to watch this version of World of Color more than I ever have actively seeked out the World of Color before.
Yeah.
Real quick, Lewis mentioned that he wants the Walt pop, which I have right here. I'll show it real quick. But they actually have a trading station for these pins by the
Tomorrowland.
Tomorrowland, and Kim joined us on Saturday, so we had the entire Saturday with her, and it was a great time.
Kim said it was awesome, and she will see World Color again and again. So
yes, it was
Kim with us,
awesome.
and we had fun hanging out with Kim.
Make Joey big.
Yeah,
yes.
Make Joey
So
big.
make me big. And I got that.
That's not Joey.
I'm trying. My Wi-Fi's Wait, hang on. Indiana Wi-Fi. Give me a sec. It's not working for me. Hang on.
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
I think we're good.
So on the 16th, we actually started the day at DCA, which was great because the line for the Emporium at the opening went out to the Esplanade. So we all know how the ladies like to shop. So we went to do a lot of the shopping. This was not announced in the pre-stuff.
No.
So I saw this out of the corner. I'm like, oh, I got to get this. So this is Walt, Mickey, and the fire engine. And I'll just show the back. It has a little bit better of a picture of it. But
yeah.
I'm pretty sure this sold out like early the first day because I saw the Funko Finder or whatever on Instagram, and people are like, dude, nobody said that was coming out.
Yeah.
So
they might restock them, but honestly, they did not restock them that weekend. They were gone on Friday. The keys, however, they sold out on Friday, but then they had restocked them Saturday and Sunday, it looked like. So the keys, it looks like you'll have a better fighting chance to get one of those. I would not go to the Emporium, go to Star Traders, go to Small World.
Pioneer Mercantile.
Yeah, Pioneer Mercantile. Go to the back of the park because everybody will be going to the front of the park, and that's where they will sell out. So
Honestly, though, my favorite merch was my conductor hat.
It's so cute, and it looks so cute on you.
Yes.
Friday, because of the merchandise, the key, and even the magic key like activations where you could get these cards, which are very cool. I think the longest attraction wait was like 35 minutes.
Yeah.
And that was like
that was like Rise of the Resistance.
Yeah, there was no line waiting at all on any of the attractions on Friday.
Very nice. Anything else you guys want to share about your trip this weekend?
I'll just say I know over the months, kind of predicting what they're going to do with the 70th, and like, well, they're not going to do much because it's the 70th. They're going to really do big for the 75th. This is amazing. The all the merchandise is some of the best anniversary merchandise I've seen. I love the vintage collection. There's 3 different collections. Everything is awesome. Miguel and Dante in Small World is awesome. The tapestry projection show over Small World is amazing. I actually just uploaded the World of Color video for a DU YouTube, so that'll be up later on tonight. And I'm trying to do stuff.
Don't watch if you don't want to be spoiled, but go watch it.
But this is top notch, and like I said, we didn't even get Walt or the Sherman Brothers yet, and we're getting them in July. So they did a really good job so far. The projection over Carthay is amazing. I mean, everything is just so good.
Yeah, and even though Small World is open as well, we don't have the final verse yet, so that'll be in July as well.
Yeah. Oh, that's exciting. Well, I'm glad you guys had such a wonderful trip. We missed you guys, but it was good knowing that we had representation both at Rogue Comic Con and in the parks, and all the love we had.
And like I
for all of
said,
our
we
fandoms.
enjoyed the day on Saturday all day with Kim, and so a lot of fun. So can't wait to do it again, which we will be doing this weekend too.
Yeah, we'll be there again. Back on Saturday, and then we'll be at the
this weekend.
Yeah, so we'll also be at actually the 4 of us, Amanda and Kevin will be there too on Saturday, and
the 5 of us.
Oh,
me, Joey, you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the 5 of us. Yes, Kelly will be there too. I was like, who are you counting as 5? Because in my head you were counted, but I didn't.
Oh, me, I'm catching a flight.
But yes, so the 5 of us will be there.
And I was telling Courtney and Kelly, I think because of the Jonas Brothers song, I think I'm officially a Jonas Brothers fan now. Because
welcome to the club.
That song is played like That Thing You Do. If you guys know that movie, you know what I'm talking about. It is everywhere,
all the time.
And it does not matter because it's a bop every time. So
we'll also be, all of us will be at the D23 Angels versus Marlins game for the Stitch pin and water bottle giveaway that they're doing.
Perfect.
Oh.
Any last minute thoughts anybody wants to share?
Yeah, Kimberly just mentioned it will be Amanda and Kevin's anniversary on the 24th.
Happy anniversary!
Happy anniversary!
Happy anniversary. That's so cute.
Oh,
We love
shucks.
you guys. Brendy says happy anniversary. JC, we're so glad you could join us tonight.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me. I had a last minute question though for everyone who went to
Yes.
the park last weekend. My favorite thing is the churro. I need to live vicariously. What was the best churro flavor last weekend? They always have some fun ones. Last time I went, they had a s'mores one that was just so.
So
who
you're
got a
gonna hate.
churro? and
Yeah,
what
you're
was
not
the
going to like us at all because we didn't have a single churro.
But I
Are you
am
guys a
a
Dole Whip? Are you a Dole Whip family? I respect that too.
yeah.
We
are
didn't
Dole
have
Whip
Dole
fam,
Whip either.
but
We didn't
no,
have Dole Whip
Kim
either.
did. Kim had the
Yeah,
pineapple
Kim
upside
had the
down.
pineapple
Okay.
upside down Dole Whip.
Well,
Which
and,
is awesome, and we need to get that this weekend. We just
and Kim also
ran
had
out of
the
time.
Kim also had the Watch Me Whip Dole Whip flavored beer
Hey.
from Noble Ale.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
So that counts. I love churros, but you're gonna hate me. I'm a basic guy. I just love regular plain churros.
they're all good.
But,
Although
yeah.
they have a
Except
special
for at
one
Walt
for the
Disney World.
70th.
JC,
So-
Walt Disney World.
Agreed.
they're
Yeah,
not
Or
good.
at
Disney World
Universal
is not,
Studios.
yeah. Or
Yeah.
cruise line. Do not have the churros on the cruise line. They're bad.
But
Just Disneyland.
I'm a
Just a
Costco
little
guy.
stale.
And Costco.
Yeah.
Those are good
'Cause
churros.
they're the same.
Didn't
Smart
they
and
get rid
final,
of them
yeah.
at Costco? Do I have a bad Costco? I must.
Mm.
I don't
did
know.
have
I haven't seen them at Costco.
It's probably been 6 months since I've been to Costco, so I'll have to check.
But I did have
But
popcorn
they
a couple
do-
guys, and
they-
it's delicious.
Yes, popcorn is his vice. He's just smells it and he's like, popcorn. Even if he just already, he will buy one, eat it, and then all of a sudden be like, popcorn, and want it again. So
Oh,
that's
Did you
I
get
do
a
have a quick
fun
question.
popcorn
For,
container?
for the tour, you said you got a special popcorn. What was so special about it?
It was a white chocolate, like
sprinkles
drizzled
in it.
and sprinkles. It was like celebration popcorn.
Yeah, in the retro box.
Okay, I'm
In the
board.
retro box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joey, check the
We
box.
did not buy the popcorn buckets this time. We have in the past, for like Star Wars month, we got the.
We bought everything
coaxium.
else. We bought everything else.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
like for Star Wars month, like we got coaxium zippers,
Yeah.
but
Those are
I
dope.
did get this zipper, which has the 70th stuff on it.
And I got
Oh,
the
that's
coffee tumbler version of it. And I am
Yeah.
not going to pay money for the $50 Mickey.
Yeah.
That is ridiculous. So
I know
But
he
he
talks,
talks to you.
blinks. I know, but $55.
so does
Yeah,
Chucky.
I don't pay $50 for things that blink at me. Sorry. I don't want to pay $1 for something that's going to actually blink at me.
They had plenty of them. They're not running out.
That's because they freaking blink.
But I will
Yeah.
say the Herald zipper did look really cute in
Yeah.
person, but we did not buy a
It
Herald.
reminds me of the time I made my dad stand in line to get me a Furby, and then he gave it to me, and it scared me, so I drowned it in the bathtub.
That's so funny. Our mom stood in line to get Furbies too, and we didn't like them after we played
They're
with
I
them
let them
either.
die.
Things that blink on their own, I don't want around me. I'm sorry.
Child's
Yeah.
Play. Kimberly, yeah, we all shared. She bought the 70th stuff at the Red Rose Tavern, and it was
Like
really
the
good.
gray stuff.
We all shared
Yeah.
it.
That was good.
It had an Oreo cookie in the middle that was hard to get at, but other than that, it was really good.
Very sweet, but it
All
was
right.
very good.
JC, where can we find you since you are a special guest host here? If people want to connect with you, where can they find your lovely
my
face?
Gosh, I mean, I guess I use Instagram sometimes. I don't have time to be on the internet. You guys, yeah, I'm impressed with the amount of things you guys all do and your commitment to making time for this. But yeah, I'm on Instagram. Was it Awesome JC4? You can find me through the Rogue Comic Con page. Definitely give the Rogue Comic Con page a follow too. See all the fun and exciting things from the last weekend. So, but no, thank you so much for having me. This was a hoot nanny. I'm super glad I got to come on.
Thank you.
We're happy to have you.
Absolutely.
It's fun.
And until next time, we hope you enjoy the view from Walt's apartment.
Bye.
will come to this happy place, welcome. Disneyland is your land. Here age relives fond memories of the past. And here youth may savor the challenge and promise of the future. Disneyland is dedicated to the ideals, the dreams, and the hard facts that have created America, with the hope that it will be a source of joy and inspiration to all the world.